Hey guys, welcome to another Monday, and it's Halloween. So this week we're talking about characters and dialogue. And I found that oftentimes my characters, of course, come from my own head, but I also take cues and examples from my own life and use friends and family and even complete strangers. But that's because they can provide a wide variety of people and personalities. Oftentimes, though, I've noticed when I write descriptions about my characters, such as what they look like, I tend to be pretty ambiguous. So, while some people and authors like J.K. Rowling write large amounts of description, even down to the eye color and hair color, I don't do that. So, don't anticipate ever finding anything of mine that talks about what their hair color is or what their eye color is, because to me it's not that important. What's important is the story. And so oftentimes I will only tell you what someone looks like if it's actually important. For the most part, I don't do that. I like to let my readers and my audience imagine whoever they want as the protagonist or even as a support character. So when I'm in the creation process of working on a character, oftentimes I will write lots and lots of notes and plenty of short stories based off of experiences in their life. Even if I don't know that it's something important to the grander story, a short story oftentimes can capture just a moment in time that this character is going through. And not to mention, it makes them who they are in the future, because books don't always tell you what happens over the course of their life. Sometimes you'll only get a glimpse at what's going on in that moment, and backstory can really cover what happened in their childhood or their teen years, or even when they were at college if you're writing older characters. One other thing I do is I write basically an entire bio about who they are, from their age to personality traits and even likes and dislikes with food and music and pretty much anything. So when it comes to dialogue, I took a lesson from Mark Twain, and I tend to write a lot of dialect. And it's mostly because I really like the subtle nuances of accents, and not to mention just how people talk. Because everybody speaks differently and tends to be who they are, and oftentimes you can take a lot from a person out of their dialect and how they talk. So, for example, this year one of my characters is actually deaf. So he will have different conversations with different people based on who can understand sign language and who can understand when he speaks verbally. Because there are going to be some words that he has a hard time pronouncing. So when I write that, I actually have to pay attention to what the word is it hard for him to pronounce, and make sure that I express that in writing to the reader. Because otherwise it wouldn't make any sense to just have random jumbled up words and no one be able to understand how they fit together. And it's basically eye language is the term that I've heard, where you change the way a word is spelled either phonetically or to suit the character's speech pattern. So certainly with who this year is dubbed Casey, my protagonist, will be interesting since he is deaf, and since I have to replace certain words with when he signs to different people and when he talks out loud. And the other thing about dialogue is some of these conversations do come from real life or from things I've overheard. And that can add a different emotional depth to them, because if it's something you've experienced and it's something you know, then you'll be able to add more to it than if you're just writing off the top of your head and pantsing it, as it were. meaning riding by the seat of your pants. So hopefully that kind of helps on characters and dialogue. And my dog is whining at me. But that's just my take on the creation process in that. And I hope you all have a happy Halloween. And NaNoWriMo is starting tonight, so good luck. And don't forget to be awesome. I'll see you all next week.